Hi guys, welcome. Welcome aboard, welcome back, welcome home as always. Completely and totally dependent on where you happen to be in relation to this channel this week, these messages, this energy, all of the above. This is the weekly What's Up for the 19th of December through the 25th of December 2022. How exciting is that, right? Almost a whole nother year going by. So this week starts on the 19th, and there's a lot going on, so let's just get into it. On Monday, Venus in Capricorn squares Chiron, and then quincunxes Mars, which is in retrograde, right? We know this. And then Mars sextiles Chiron. The moon in Scorpio makes two quincunxes, one to Mars and one to Chiron. Very active today, right? And then sextiles Venus. So we have basically the same energies in motion today. So here's the day. It's a day to kind of make sure that you are feeling the feels of all of your stories, old and new, about home. And the bonus is that this is a great energetic day for an active release of outdated stories, right? Those things that we left hanging, those dreams that might still be on the shelf, those realities that remained unmanifest. Here's the question, the challenge of the day. Can you honor the vision that inspired those original impulses, right, toward that felt sense of home? Can you witness those visions showing up in a different way, right? Serendipity is a real thing. And if you don't know what that is, serendipity is getting what you need, not what you want, right? It's about trusting the journey enough to allow something to show up in whatever form it shows up in. Perhaps not the way that you conjured it in your vision, but the way that it shows up, and witnessing it as perfect and correct and enough, right? So it's really trusting the journey and trusting the outcome to the universe. And knowing that that serendipity is always your blessing. Right, so that's Monday. That's a big deal. On Tuesday the 20th, the moon, still in Scorpio, opposes Uranus, and then sextiles Mercury, which is in Capricorn. Early in the morning, Central Time, 8:32 a.m., Jupiter moves forward again into Aries, right, after that retrograde period. And then the Scorpio moon squares Saturn, trines Neptune, and sextiles Pluto. So this is a day to wake up and pay attention to your dreamtime insights, right? With that moon in Scorpio opposing Uranus, that's a day to kind of refresh your commitments to your deeply sensual experience, your five senses, right? Your sensual experience and the expression of that. And as Jupiter moves into Aries, right, this is expansion on all the levels. This is amplification. This is integration. And this is a day that you might feel almost resentful that you have to get shit done. Because you might prefer to just immerse yourself in that kind of better felt than spoken sense of things. The key is to make sure that you keep moving, but move with heartfelt intention, right? Move from your soul, and you know how to do that. So just put that into action today. On Wednesday, the 21st, wow, the moon moves into Sagittarius super early Central Time, 1:12. 7 minutes later, the moon trines Jupiter. And then in the afternoon, the sun moves into Capricorn, 3:48 p.m. For our winter solstice. And a little bit after that, the sun squares Jupiter. So that's really that first big aspect of the sun after we have solstice. So we want to pay attention to that. And then the moon, hello, in Sagittarius opposes Mars and trines Chiron. So here's the deal. It's a blessed solstice day, right? So that moon square Jupiter being a really dominant energy. So for for this quarter, you can really witness expansive growth, good fortune, right? The square, though, creates a demand that we put ourselves into the mix, right? This is going to be an active quarter that has to do with your own experiences and your own blessings and how those two things overlap, right? All of your blessings are here. They're all available, but you've got to reach out. You have to be that active part of creation. And as the moon touches both Jupiter and Chiron later on, Mars. Mars and Chiron. Sorry. This is about how our chosen retelling of the stories and how we put those things into action really becomes our immersion in and as the new, right? You have to put those things into action, and the way that you retell that story is going to really be that active part of creation. So mind what you're telling, right? At this darkest time of year, the key is to always believe in the coming of the light. And all that means is to go more deeply into yourself and find that light within. On Thursday, the 22nd, the moon in Sagittarius quincunxes Uranus, Venus in Capricorn trines Uranus, the moon sextiles Saturn and squares Neptune. So this is a day to lean in, right? And lean all the way in. This active Uranus is really asking you to embrace the new and unexpected, even if it feels sudden or shocking. Those things are all right. The energies, both the universal energies and the personal energies, are changing. And here's the deal. You feel that. We all feel that in our souls. So don't resist it. Right? Don't resist it in your body. Don't resist it in your experience. Don't resist it in your manifestations. The way you show up is changing, and you can feel that. Allow the response to change as well, right? On Thursday, the 23rd, very early into the day, Central Time, the moon moves into Capricorn. Yes. And then squares Jupiter. Not long after that, we have Chiron turning direct. Whoa, I saw you, little friend. I don't know if that was the one. I didn't see it. I only saw the paint. So we'll just have to keep drawing because, you know, those are the rules. So anyway, overnight, right, we have the moon moving into Capricorn. We have the moon squaring Jupiter. We have Chiron moving direct. And then at 4:17 a.m. Central Time, we have a 1-degree Capricorn New Moon, right? This is hot on the heels of solstice. So we need to pay attention. It's lovely. And then the moon quincunxes Mars and squares Chiron. Here's the thing. These new stories that we're telling are healing in and of themselves. So here's the deal. Tell the tale. Thank you very much. Tell the tale about what is to come. Tell the tale about your healing. Tell the tale about your healed self. Tell the tale about your service and how you are putting yourself into action, right? You have no room for anything that is not moving in your direction. Please, let's say that again. You have no room for anything that is not moving in your direction. Refuse to dive into stress today. I know that is the 23rd of December, and for those of you who celebrate the holiday of Christmas, it might feel a little scattered. Your stories are what is coming, right? It's not about if you build it, they will come. If you build it, there you are. So pay attention. pay attention, right? You have no room for anything that is not moving in the direction you are going. So be mindful of that. On Saturday, the 24th of December, this is a great day. The moon in Capricorn trines Uranus, conjuncts Venus and Mercury, sextiles Neptune and Pluto, and then late into the next day. Well, we'll get there when we get there. So this is a kind of an all yum all day long, right? This is about feelings. It's about the expression of home, and all those things entail, right? That better felt than spoken sense of home that is in our soul, that we experience through our senses and through our spirit. So you may find yourself expressing this, just things that you perhaps felt incapable of expressing, right? From the depths of your own soul. Here's the deal. Let your miracles be witnessed and heard, right? Because, wow, I heard it, but I don't see it. Okay. Let your miracles be witnessed. Let your miracles be heard. Oh, there it is. I see it. Okay, fine. We got it. Let your soul sing its song, right? We've got big aspects to Venus and Mercury and Neptune, and Mercury and Neptune itself. So here's the deal. Let your soul sing its song. Be in that deep expression of what you feel and witness as truth. Always knowing, of course, that that does not bind you. It is just your expression of what is in that moment, right? It changes, it shifts just as you do, from the depths and necessarily all the time. So let your soul sing its song and be open to the fact that the melody may change, right? You just never know. That's the beauty of harmony. So on Sunday, December 25th, if you celebrate, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Kwanzaa, Rosh Hashanah, Blessed Yule, all the things. Whatever you may celebrate, be honored and honored in it. The moon moves into Aquarius just after the day switches, and then that moon sextiles Jupiter, trines Mars, and sextiles Chiron. Here's the thing, right? So this is an expanse on yesterday's kind of general open-hearted energy, right? It's a day of kind of energized, expansive energy, right? This is a day of big steps energetically. It can be big steps in reality as well. That's up to you. That is of your own choosing. Words to focus on would be allow, extend, and amplify, right? Amplify your own best intentions by calling on your power as a capacitor, right, for miracles. And the thing is, you already are that, right? A capacitor already holds within it that which it's going to express, right? It's about storage, but also capacity, right? So allow your own light. Dude, everything is everything is upside down today. Allow your light to shine and create that brightness through you, as you, for you, right? So that you can illuminate more deeply that which is around you, which is really what this season is all about, right? So this week is kind of a dicey start and a dreamy finish. Wednesday, the solstice really shifts that energy. And the other thing that I do want to say is on Sunday, we have Mercury moving into storm, right, for a retrograde on the 29th. Thank you. It's about time. So anyway, Mercury is moving into storm. So kind of be mindful of that. Be mindful to really get your I's dotted and your T's crossed during this time before Mercury starts kind of slowing. Thank you. Before Mercury starts slowing anymore into that retrograde phase. So just start paying attention to the things that you're saying, to the things that you're writing, to the things that you're expressing, especially because Mercury is such a big energy in this week particularly. Let's talk, shall we? So on Monday, we've got the Hierophant and the Five of Pentacles. So here's the deal. The Hierophant is energetic to how am I creating and associating my own truth, right? The Hierophant is things that have been given to you. It is truths that have been imparted to you. It is teaching that has been bestowed upon you. And the key here is, how do you find yourself within that teaching, right? This is definitely the unexamined life is not worth living, right? We must examine all the things that come into our periphery, into our field. Is this true for me? Does this resonate for me? Is what I've been taught, is what I've been told true for me? Is it? Well, here's the deal. This Five of Pentacles says there are things that might leave you feeling less, might leave you feeling lacking, might leave you feeling like you are in scarcity, right? How do you reconcile those things? You do this work, right? You ask the question, does this belief hold true for my life? Is this true for me? Or does it leave me feeling like I'm out in the cold, like I'm left behind, like I'm not included in that truth? This can go for things philosophical. This can go for your beliefs about relationships. This can go for your beliefs about yourself. This can go for religion, you name it. Everything that you haven't explored, you owe it to yourself to explore. Now, here's the deal. We talked about this as being a great energetic day to actively release the outdated stories, right? Anything that's left you hanging, anything that's left you experiencing something as loss or lack, right? Following that original impulse to that felt sense of home. Can you witness it showing up in a different way? Does it have to look like this? Does it have to fit in someone else's box of truth? Guess what? It doesn't. It doesn't. Feel into trusting the journey, right? And the outcome. That's your truth. I love how these all have very interesting kind of dichotomies through them. On Tuesday, we've got the Two of Swords, we've got the High Priestess. So the Two of Swords is always about a choice. It's about conflicting ideas, conflicting beliefs. It's about how we may be in confusion or how we may be not looking at something that's true. Here's the deal. We always know what's true, right? Are we utilizing that in some way, or are we allowing our brain to tell us something different? Where is our sense of balance, right? Where's our sense of balance here? Swords are always about balance, ideas, concepts, expressions. So we talked about this as a day to really be in mindfulness about your commitment to your deep personal expression and the expression of that. As Jupiter moves into Aries, right? This is about expansion on the levels, integration. It's about really wanting to kind of immerse yourself in that sense of something larger while still having to manage this, choice, real world kind of thing. So again, we're talking about keeping moving, right? You can't just stop. You can't just grind to a halt. You have to keep moving, but with your heartfelt intentions always at the forefront, right? Because your intuition is always going to supersede your logic. On Wednesday, this is the day of solstice. This is beautiful energy. And we have the Ace of Swords and the Five of Wands. Ace of Swords is about new ideas, right? New ways to experience a thing, new ways to frame a belief, or new ways to structure concepts or ideas, anything like that, right? So the Five of Wands is kind of, it's a card of posturing, right? It's nobody's actually actively doing anything. They're all just standing around. My idea is correct. My idea is correct. No, I'm correct, right? So again, we talked about this as a day to really kind of witness your growth, witness your blessings, right? The square, though, creates that demand that you put yourself in the mix. You have to become an active part of your own blessings. So here's the thing. If you're just holding on to something because you're holding on to it, you're not going anywhere. Now we have this beautiful staircase leading up, right? Are you going to just hold on to it because you think you should or because you had, right? No, you have to reach out and be in reception, right? All aces are about getting a gift from the universe. You have to receive it with gratitude and put it into action, right? You can't just hold on to an ace. You can't just hold on to a new idea. You have to put that into action. You have to retell that story and let it be healing. Let it be an immersion. Let it become you, right? Not you holding on, but you as the new, right? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I love that solstice energy. Okay, on Thursday, we have got the Three of Swords and we've got the Chariot. Here's the deal. Three of Swords, we're talking about swords, which are always about ideas or beliefs. The Three of Swords is about loss, heartache, betrayal. It's about sadness. It's about the idea that you have lost a thing, the idea that you have been betrayed, the idea that you are experiencing a deep sadness or loss. The Chariot is about balanced forward motion, right? Love and logic, head and heart. It's about creativity and destruction, right? Creation. And so here's the deal. We've got that active Uranus energy asking you to embrace the new, even if it feels sudden or shocking. Those energies are changing, right? There is motion. There is motion. You cannot resist this motion. You are going to feel it in your body. You are going to feel it in your experience. You're going to see it as you move forward. So the way you show up is changing, right? The way you show up is changing. Allow your response to change. Don't hold on to the idea that this defines you. Whatever this loss is, whatever this betrayal is, whatever this sadness is, it does not define you. You define you in the way you choose to integrate it into your forward motion, right? On Friday, Capricorn New Moon, we have got the High Priestess again and the King of Wands. So the High Priestess, again, this is about intuition. This is about how we connect through our divinity, as our divinity. This is that better felt than spoken. This is that deep sense of knowingness, counterparted, right, by the King of Wands, who is the master of his impulse energy, his passionate energy, understands where to lean in again and where to lean out, how to put all of those moving parts into action, right, where we intuit. This allows us to pull those into expression. So again, we talked about this as the day where the moon moves into Capricorn and Chiron goes direct, and we have a Capricorn New Moon. This is a day for your stories to be told as building blocks of what is to come. The story is about your healing and your service put into action. You have no room for anything not moving in your direction, right? The High Priestess has no room for something not on her level. The King of Wands has absolutely no need to engage with anything that is not in alignment with his passions, that does not set him on fire, right? That is his element, fire. So it has to be a fuck yes right here, or it's a no. You have no room for anything not moving in your direction. On Saturday, we've got the Two of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. How lovely is this? We talked about this as that day of basically all yum all day, which I love. This is the day we talked about letting your soul sing its song, right? Let your miracles be witnessed. Finding that felt sense of being able to express what you may have previously felt that you were incapable of expressing, right? And so we have that moon in Capricorn. We have those big Capricorn moon conjunctions to Venus and Mercury and Pluto, which is, I mean, that's so yummy, right? We've got those energies lining up with Neptune, right? Doing that beautiful dance of behind the veils, better felt and spoken. What are your miracles? How can we witness them? We're going to balance between those tangible and intangible energies. And then we've got the King of Pentacles, who absolutely innately and instinctively knows how to put those into functional, practical action, right? Lovely, absolutely lovely energy. Just finding yourself all of a sudden, with this new skill. Allow it. See what happens, right? What have you got to lose? There you go. All right, on Sunday, we have the Emperor and the Five of Swords. Okay, the Emperor is the sum of all kings, right? He embodies all of that master energy, knowing where to lean in, knowing where to lean out, knowing what to put your energy in, knowing what to refrain from. And then we've got, oh, it's the Seven, so sorry, the Seven of Swords, which is honestly even a little deeper here for this one. So we talked about this as being a day to utilize your own power as a capacitor for miracles, right? Okay, the Emperor is all about the miracles. He doesn't even have to think. The miracles are the nature of the Emperor. The Seven of Swords is an energy of deception and trickery. And honestly, it's an energy of deceiving yourself and tricking yourself. So as we know, we've got that moon Aquarius, right? Sextiling Chiron in Aries. So how might you pull back? How might you lift the needle off the record and not live in your mastery? This is when you believe your own stories, right? So we're talking about this as a day to really lean into that energized and expansive energy, to make big steps, right? That's all the Emperor makes. He is not a mincing, tiny step, let's go slow kind of guy. He is striding forward. He is striding forward, right? And as that moon sextiles that Jupiter in Aries, this is a day of big steps. It's a day of amplifying your own best intentions and not deceiving yourself by saying, well, I don't really know what I'm doing here. No, yes, you do. Absolutely, you do. And there's your reminder. Big steps. You are the capacitor for miracles. Allow them, right? Hold highest space. Yes, we absolutely understand that as we hold highest space, we are creating. We have highest space everywhere in this mix. We have all this highest space, right? So utilize it. It is showing up for you. And so the more deeply you can utilize that energy, the better off you are. The more you allow yourself to become whatever it is that you get to become, whatever it is you choose, honestly, whatever it is you choose to become. And so, you know, this deck spoke to me today, this Threads of Fate deck. I don't use it a lot because the deck that I got is, it's this, you know, this golden kind of deck, and it's hard to see sometimes, but I love it. The artwork is so gorgeous. So the card we got today is Paradox, which I love because look how many paradoxical pairings we have. Yeah, okay. Throughout, right, we have a lot of challenges in our energy this week, places where we can lean in high or low, and that will definitely dictate our experience. So let's see what this has to say. This card is a reminder that we can hold two extremes at the same time. Yes, we can. Sometimes we focus on things, whether internal or external, and see them as one-sided. But to hold the paradox within us requires strength. To see our most brilliant qualities and the most ugly, to acknowledge that they both live within us, is a gateway to growth. Carl Jung said, "The paradox is one of the most valuable spiritual possessions, and for anyone who does shadow work, they know this to be true." But this can also be difficult for many people. If we have been raised in a rigid environment, where things are viewed as black or white, it may be hard for us to accept our flaws, let alone love them, right? How are we always accepting our flaws, accepting our challenges? And the key is to come to love them, right? One of the best ways to slowly enter a relationship with internal paradox is to remind ourselves that we did not create these things within us. We inherited them. Listen, absolutely. It does not define us, and yet we are responsible for it. Did not we say? Yeah, we said it. To work more deeply with this paradox, as you witness yourself throughout the day, identify what types of thoughts you have more of, positive or negative. From there, find the polar extreme. For example, maybe you thought, "I'm so fucking lazy." Acknowledge a couple of things that make that true, and then find their polar opposite, like, "I am hardworking," and acknowledge a few things or experiences that prove those things to yourself, right? So, yeah, that's a beautiful example of shadow work in a nutshell. So if you want to hold that highest space, go right ahead and understand, right? You are the paradox. You are, you are the paradox in action. You know, we've got these two twos here, right? This balance, this dichotomy. We have the Chariot, which is about the dichotomy. We have the High Priestess twice, right? This is balance and dichotomy. I mean, the Emperor is even 4, which is still kind of that. So how can you challenge yourself, right? How can you, we've all, you know, I noticed here we've got 5, 5, 5s. Yeah. So how can you challenge yourself to balance your paradoxes, to balance the paradoxical parts of you that are the whole, right, the sum, without falling back into that blame, shame, guilt, old story. No. We're here to call on your power as a capacitor for miracles. You are the miracle, right? Just allow it. Just allow it. Again, if this is your Christmas, Merry Christmas. If this is your Hanukkah, Happy Hanukkah. Whatever your holiday is, be blessed. It's a beautiful solstice week. It's a beautiful new moon week. We have Jupiter moving into Aries. We have Chiron moving direct. Just roll with it, guys. It's a dicey start, but it is a dreamy finish. So big blessings. Big, big blessings.